What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nathan, and on this planet we send it, and we're going to be getting into today as well. We're just going to actually be showing you the clips that I took about 3-4 days ago with the garden update that I didn't want to put at the end of the compost video because it was just making the video too long. So we're going to go ahead and show you those clips, and I think what I'm going to do is it's been about 3-4 days since the last compost video, so I need to go ahead and water it like I said. So I'll take you around the videos the clips that I took 3-4 days ago. And then at the end, we'll go ahead and just measure the temperature on the compost on where it is right now and to take a look at everything. So without further ado, I got a plan in place. Let's go ahead and send it. This is, whenever I see this, I know we have not been watering the garden. Look at all these strawberries, or I should not watering the strawberries at least. Look at these things as they're just drooping down. And then look at the bottom there. Let's go ahead and zoom on in. That is dry there, and it is dry there. So I will be watering that immediately after this video. So as I mentioned in the last video, I needed to go ahead and make a decision on what I'm going to be doing, and I've made my decision. So unfortunately, the decision that I make, it's going to cost about like $300, $350 to get what I want. But I think it's actually going to be pretty cool and a good worm setup for me to sort of have continuous feed. So once I get that on order and once that gets here, we'll do an unboxing video and set it up. And in the meantime, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the food out of these, which are definitely the worst. That one's pretty bad too, but I'm going to migrate everything over to here, and then hopefully these two will be able to hold up for the next maybe month or two until I can basically get that other product here. The in-ground garden is thriving. Just look at how dark those leaves are back there. Everything in the ground is just really doing good. So we have treated this thing right. And yeah, I think the compost tea was definitely helping this area. So I want to hurry up and, or not necessarily hurry up, but here, basically in the next 2, maybe 3 weeks, I'm going to go ahead and do another compost tea and lace everything out with nitrogen. I'm a little embarrassed to take you guys back there. I kind of don't want to do it and see all the hops that are now gone to waste because I just didn't get around to harvesting them and getting something that I could keep them for a long duration. So it was cool seeing them grow, and I got some experience on it, but now I need to start looking at, well, maybe I can just prune it so that it comes back next year, and then I will be ready for it with something to maybe freeze dry them, or at least as, you know, put them in a vacuum seal so that they don't oxidize so quickly and I can keep them for a long duration. Compost tea is definitely creating a lot of flowering in just about everything here. Now, unfortunately, these things aren't really growing too much, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if these are like loofahs that were growing or if they're cucumbers. They just haven't grown long enough for me to, at least my ignorance, I just don't have enough experience with it to be able to recognize it at that early stage. But if you kind of come over here and you just see all the yellowing, this is just all flowers that are coming in all over the place. I'm just not getting many pollinators to turn these flowers into fruit. But yeah, so lesson learned here. Keep my compost tea definitely going pretty early in the season, and then it's probably good to have it maybe do about every 2 to 4 weeks somewhat consistently so that I can reap the benefits and getting the flowering when the pollinators are here. Check out this funky tomato. It's always kind of cool growing your own stuff because in the stores you only get like what's perfect picture tomatoes and fruits, but in real life you get these weird creating things every once in a while, or weird things that are just created from the garden, and I think those are pretty cool. But yeah, there's definitely a good amount of tomatoes coming in here. I just think I could have done a lot better, but they're still producing all the way here into the middle of November. Now I will say San Diego has had some warm temperatures. We've been in the upper 80s and even lower 90s for like the last 2 weeks. It's kind of crazy. But the goji berries are still going. Man, they're just going all up and down. There's like, I mean, you can see a few of them right there that I need to pull because they're gone bad, but they're just going. Looks like we're not getting as many monarch butterflies coming through here because the milkweed is starting to recover. However, it's basically recommended in order to reduce disease on the monarch butterflies in November, basically around Thanksgiving, which is next week. We're going to go ahead and cut them down to about like 6 inches and then just let them regrow new growth. Hey girls. Oh yeah, so you're one of the ones we want to, hopefully everything goes better, but it looks like at least you're feathers are growing back. Can I come over here to the, I just want to come over here to the semi-dwarf trees, okay? You want to come with me? You guys can see here the peach tree is definitely dropping its leaves pretty heavily. Let's check in on the little dwarf trees there, that which is redundant. But let's see how these are doing, the semi-dwarf trees. Looks actually like we're getting in some new growth, potentially. These leaves are unraveling, so that's a sign that these are new right here. Let me get back a little wider for you guys so you guys can kind of see here. At least from what I can see, I'm not seeing anything new, but we are kind of been in a weird period. Definitely looks like I didn't get to fix this in time. These are not looking too healthy. I'm hoping that since there's still some growth going on here, that's a good sign. You know, as I've mentioned quite a few times here, when it comes to my citrus, I'm always get a little nervous because I lost 2 of them before this one, and the one we're about to see, the navel orange tree, has made it to the size that they are. So whenever these things start showing any little sign of, you know, not doing so well, I get a little nervous. Oh man, this is kind of crazy though. Okay, so this is, let me take a step back. This is my plum variety. This is my peach variety on the dual grafted tree. The plum side is still shedding its leaves and I'm not seeing anything here, but let me take you into the peach side. There's already sort of buds growing, and you know, I'm concerned. I'm hoping this warm weather isn't tricking this tree into, you know, maybe growing a little sooner, because we don't really get into the freezing, at least where I live in San Diego, and I hope it's not going about to do some crazy damage to it, because the weather itself is kind of tricking this tree. But we'll have to see, and I'll keep you guys engaged in these vlogs. Mexican lime tree doing great, still producing. Actually, just it seemed the limes on here just keep growing more and more and more and more. And of course the jet decides it wants to take off while I'm talking. So let's see if we can get in here a little bit. Here's my other my other milkweed bush here, and it's doing really well. Again, we're gonna go ahead and cut this off. Oh, what's this? The persimmon tree got the sucker. Sorry, we stay sucker free in the garden. You gotta go. All right, yep, no more suckers in my garden. So yep, the persimmon tree. Unsure on when the persimmon tree is going to start growing fruit. It's still, the leaves still seem pretty bare. You know, for those who probably are new, that the persimmon tree, I put just basically a branch into the ground, and that's what's growing. So we took some of the, you know, so it's not necessarily growing from you know, normal conditions from seed. So I think that's might be why it's growing a little bare, or you know what, that I'm ignorant. It might just be that's how persimmon trees are. Man, I got to tell you though, the fig tree is still growing. I got green figs growing all the way up to the top. So we're in the middle of November. It's like, I think the 18th today, and this thing is still going. In addition to the big one, even this one is still going. It's still getting a little growth there at the very top. So hopefully it would be kind of cool. We'll see how things go. But I know that the big one has a very well-established root structure. Maybe we might be seeing a pretty good growth out of the young tree come next year, but we'll see. The avocado tree, it is doing great. I am seeing a lot of browning in the tips of the leaves, showing me that it's either supporting new growth or it's getting ready for new growth. So actually, we'll take a look here right now, but that thing is really becoming monstrous. Look at how that's doing compared to the fig tree, and then also compared to Big Bertha. I mean, should I remember when we got it? It was basically, I think I purchased it when it was about a 5-gallon tree, or maybe a 3-gallon tree actually, and it was maybe the size of right there. And now it's more than doubled. And so, yeah, let's come in here and take a look. Is there any new growth coming in? Yeah, actually there is. We got some there. How about up here? I don't know how well you can see it, but yep, we got some in. So it looks like we're getting ready to go into another growth. Now the warm weather's probably helping the avocado tree and getting ready to do at least another good growth before we go into more colder temperatures and lesser sun. Big Bertha. Man, we are just guava, 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 all day guava. I'm just finally getting ready to finish some kombucha. It was a little too potent, so the family was a little resistant to drink it, but now I'm getting down to the last one or two, so I'm gonna get ready to do some kombucha, some guava kombucha. But you can see we got posts there, post there, post there, post there. Actually, that one looks like it fell. Trying to keep the branches up because they're just so heavy with all this guava. You can see the pomegranate tree is really starting to getting ready to shed its leaves. I was getting some significant yellowing on the inner side, so we should be seeing that out. It is definitely time for me to go ahead and trim back the ashwagandha bush again, because the tree that gets the priority, is the avocado tree down here. And it looks like it just had a recent new growth. Yep, check that out. Look at those new healthy leaves right there. Yeah, that's a great sign. So I need to hurry up and cut back this ashwagandha bush, because it's taking valuable sun, of which we're not getting much of because it's getting close to the winter solstice. So I need to allow this avocado tree to get as much as it can. Now the mango tree. You can see I had a casualty back there. I accidentally knocked down one of the leaves there when I was putting in the compost over here. But man, that compost is already looking pretty healthy. But yeah, we won't use it at least for another month or two, at least not much of it. But whoa, oh my goodness, check out these papayas. These things are just about ready. Oh my goodness. And there's just so many more coming in at the top. Man, we're just about to get papaya. It's gonna be raining papaya here pretty soon. All right, let's check in on the navel orange tree. Let's see here. I don't remember if all of this was new growth, but it looks like we got some leaves here, some leaves here. We got some that are kind of opening up here that appear new. That one's already kind of opened up a little bit, so looks like, nope, that one's looks like it's still going. Oh, these are definitely some new ones down there. So, all right, it's still kind of coming in. It's not coming in as strong as I would like it to. So I am a little bit nervous still. But again, that's probably just my PTSD from having the losses that I've had with my citrus. The little engine that done did, or the little engine that could. All right, how are you doing, girls? So let's see here. Looks like we got some possible growth coming in there. Looks like also up there. So everything looks like we might be showing signs that we might be getting another growth here. You know, in the wintertime, this thing usually slows down production pretty good. So I would be pretty happy to see another growth. Now, one of the things I am observing is it's losing some of the color at the tips of the lower leaves. Maybe that might be setting up for some of the growth at the upper, but you know, the mango tree in the past hasn't shown too much signs for that, so that's a little new. So I need to keep an eye on this just to make sure that this is a positive thing. We'll just go ahead and finish up here with the grapevine. You can see this thing is becoming very barren, and the leaves are just about completely down. A little bit more, but everything appears to be on track for pruning come the middle of January, maybe the beginning of February. All right, let's go ahead and check and see how the temperature's doing. It definitely was feeling, at least by touch, that it was a little bit warmer. Yeah, last time we were down, I think at like, was it 108? I don't remember exactly, but now I'm reading, it looks like we are about 120, 121. So I'm gonna go ahead and hose her down a little bit again and spin her up to go ahead and make sure the air and oxygen is getting to the biology so it can do its thing. All right, that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I was pretty happy to go ahead and see that the temperatures of the compost went ahead and got back up. I was expecting it, but sometimes things don't always go as planned. And so I was happy to inspect what I was expecting of the compost. And the logic behind it is, as long as you give the anaerobic biology what it needs, water and air, then it should do its part. So it looks like the science is working with my compost, and I was happy to see it. But for you, my loyal watchers who are watching all the way to this point, I'm going to go ahead and give you a preview of the next video. Looks like I was able to fix the death wobble in my Jeep, so I'll be getting rid of Mr. Death Wobble. The precursor is it might be a temporary fix, or it might be a permanent fix, and that's just sort of where I'm going to leave you for the next video. You'll have to see. I should get that out Friday, but honestly, with Thanksgiving, I might not get that out to Saturday. but you'll see when it does. But anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.